So we're here to talk through this Jigsaw Sudoku I wrote called Downward Spiral, and we'll start by just giving you a sense for the theme. Like starting in that upper left corner and working around these regions, we get a one cell wide spiral in the grid. It starts from large numbers coming down, so 9 down to 2, another set of 9 down to 1, another set of 9 down to 2, and then 6, 5, 4 at the end. So only 5 regions have givens in them, and 4 are left completely blank. And so across that shape are some interesting parts for any Jigsaw Sudoku. Like this cell has one outie that's not in this column. This cell has to be the same as this cell. Same way of thinking says these two cells have to be the same as these two cells. You can extend that to different places. So this cell, which is an outlier from this group, has to be the same as this. And even like these 3 cells have to be the same as these 3 cells. So let's sort of work through some of those. And I think that one of the easier places to start is with this 1, 2 set, because you quickly see a 2 has to go here, a 1 has to go here, that same 1 has to go up to this space. 1 and 2 are now forced into these cells in this group as the last positions those can go, forcing a 5 in here. And we talked about how this 5 eliminates everything else in the space except for this cell. So now we have this row that has 8 and 9 to place, a 9 down below. This 8 goes in straight away, this 9 goes in straight away. You can still look actually even to like this region. So this region still needs a 7, which goes in one of these 2 cells. It needs a 3, and all of these cells are eliminated, so that 3 goes up top. And you could even look across all these cells, which are canceled by the 9, and say 9 has to go down here. And so you can fill this in, put in this 1. That 1 gives us a 2 here, gives us a 1 there. Some really good starting progress. This first column's almost complete, so let's look at it. It needs a 6 and a 4, and there's already 6 to the right, so 6 and 4 go in here. We need 2, 3, 5 for this group. I've got 2 and 3 here. That puts in this 5. I've got 2 now filled into this cell, which gives 3 here and 2 here. So get that all completed. Haven't yet looked down to this bottom space, but this needs 4, 6, and 8. And I have 4, 8 in this column, so that puts a 6 in here and a 4, 8 coming across. And it's probably worth looking at those digits a little more. Actually, with the 4s, we've got a lot of them, including some that will fully cancel everything in this 4th and 5th row, leaving just behind the spot for a 4 here. That completes this 8, completes this 4, and reveals one of the Easter eggs in this puzzle, which is a 9 through 1 set coming straight along the spiral. Now, there's a little more we can do by looking at the last remaining region that was part of that downward spiral shape. I think in part it comes from seeing that like we have to have, how does this go? In this region, the 8s see all these cells but this one, so there's an 8 that's going to come over here. The 6 has to be in the bottommost or topmost of the remaining cells, so not over here. And right now we don't know anything about where the 7s go, but that's kind of as much as you can do using the big filled shapes. And so what we really need to do is think more about the empty shapes. And this is another good one to think about in an irregular Sudoku sense like this one, because where it bends, like these 4 cells are the same as these 4 cells, and we actually have 3 of these values. And so in my normal style of making notations, I'd be trying to put a 6 into these spaces, and in putting in that 6, I cancel this 6 option, force this 6 option, put in then these 7s. So that looks very good. What I also want to do then is put in my 1 and put in what looks to be these spots for the 5s. But let's track these across. Like, let's look with the digit 1 first. This one cancels these cells for a 1 in that row. This one cancels these. This one cancels these. This is the last space for a 1 in that region. These 5s cancel here. This 5 cancels to here, and this 5 from below says that a 5 is in one of these 2 cells. And this 6 cancels these. This 6 cancels these. And these 6s from above and below cancel these. And so we have just this spot for a 6. That means just this spot for that 5. That cancels a spot for a 5, forces this position. We said that these were the only 2 spots for 6s. So this is now actually forced to be the 6. And we're making a lot of headway through the grid. But the key step that's maybe beyond the beginner steps is to recognize this region, even though it's fully empty, has a lot of information for meaning these 1, 5, 6 coming across in the space. This column now is just 8 with 9. 8 can't go in that bottom position, so it comes up top. This set looks like it's 1, 2, 6, and we know that a 6 can't go in this bottom space, nor a 1, so this is a 2. This is now a 6 canceling from the right, so this is only a 1, and this is a 6. So that all looks placed. This column is 1 with 4, but 1 is up in this top space. This is 4 up top, 1 down below, cancels this over. Last space for 1 in this region, given these 1s cancel here, here, and here, is in this cell. We're left with 3, 5, and 7 to place. This cell sees 3 and 5. This cell sees 5. Get those filled in. This is now a 7 to finish this row, a 9 to finish this row. We have a 2 and 8 to finish this space, but a 2 is up above, so 8 goes in here, 2 goes in here. We still know whatever value goes in here as well, but it's not going to be an 8, and it's not going to be a 4, so the only thing that's possible is a 3, and that quickly gives us this 3, and we'll track it into this region. This is the last space for a 3 in the puzzle. This is a 4-8 pair, and we're going to be able to resolve this in part by figuring out the remaining numbers in this region. So a digit we didn't look at yet, but probably should. This 9 canceling across, this 9 canceling down, puts a 9 in the cell, moves up a 4, puts in 4, 8, 8, 7, puts in 7 with 2. Come to the top, we need a 7 in this cage, we need another 2 in this cage, we need the last 9 in the puzzle, and we're through to the finish. So hopefully you enjoyed this tour through the downward spiral. This is probably on the much harder end of puzzles, which will be in our upcoming Starter Pack 6 Jigsaw Sudoku book that I'm writing. It's probably going to release next year, not in this year, but hopefully you enjoyed at least seeing some of the great things you can do with handwritten Sudoku puzzles. So thanks for watching this whole week, and we'll see you again soon.